We are here, we are here, we are here. On this amazing day. Okay, everyone, this is Cam Jones, FX Daily Analysis, and we are marking up LMT stock. We are on a monthly time frame. Price action, last candle to right hand side is a bullish green candle coming from an area of support. So we do have price action, lower lows, price action, higher highs of that area, midpoint. Also adding second level highs and also adding third level highs. So current price is sitting at 431.84. So we can see if price works his way up further. It can head up to the top of that SR line, which would be at price of 447.68. And if price breaks that area after that, we're looking for price to eventually clear these wicks of 479.00. And before it tags that area there, it can tag that midpoint, which would be the price of 463.04. And if the price does pull back a little bit, it can pull back up to that midpoint of that area previously, which would be at 414.39. And then it currently sitting at a level which will be at current price of 431. Let's take a look at what's going on. So there's a lot of patterns in this area, in this market, a lot of cluster. So we can see markets working its way up for that uptrend. We just respected at the previous area of support. That's why we received that push. So we have multiple patterns. So we're going to draw out what we see. So we have a W here, first, second, third, fourth. Okay, so that's a W formation. Market broke the resistance, came back to retest. Okay, so it's another section. Market identifying that first, second, third, fourth. Retest, market pushed up again. Now it's coming from a triple bottom. And this is a full retest from the previous side. And now we have the push. So market's coming from a triple bottom and a retest. So now we're looking for the engulfment, price action to engulf the previous 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 candles in the market, which will make it up to the SR line and eventually clear those wicks. So we got to definitely take this market level to level, because the last 9 candles in the market is all consolidated with a lot of wicks up to the top and wicks down to the bottom. Now let's say if this market pushes down, that means coming from an area of resistance will be identified as an overall first leg, overall second, third leg, and the market could push down for that fourth. But it'll look something like this more likely, just because price action came back to retest. It'll look like the first, second, third, fourth, price action to retest. And if it rejects and turns around, market's coming from 3 pushes to that top, which will be a triple top. So there's also patterns going on in here as well. So we try to break it down. We'll show you a few things. We'll see how it looks in a lower time frame. But that third last candle, fourth last candle spiked down twice. So it's like a double bottom and a double bottom before the reversal. But it's saying overall first, second, third, and there's a W in there. So it probably look like more like a triple or quadruple bottom as we walk down a time frame. But there's something going on at that low, below price action after they broke that SR line. Working our way to a weekly time frame, and I was right. So price action, bullish green candle engulfing the previous side, broke that midpoint, very dominant to still push up. Why? Because we do have price action above the previous second last candle body and second last candle wick that can still push that market up. But price action may have an issue breaking through that 2, 3, 4, fifth to last candle in the market, which is that doji, and we'll talk about that more in a lower time frame. But market is coming from a pattern overall, paying attention to the spike downs first, second, third. We see the pattern for the engulfment. Market's pushing up for that double bottom, and I said it may look like a triple bottom because market did spike the previous side with the wick. So now we see the first, second, third, fourth retest, market's coming up. So it did identify what we read. So right now we're looking for price to engulf that 2, 3, 4, fifth to last candle in the market to see if it's going to break out. So it's not engulfed in the previous side yet, but now we're going to see what's happening in the time frame. So if it broke a midpoint of the resistance, we're looking for that break and retest to see if that market has enough momentum to push up further. And we'll take a look at that on the daily time frame. Price action on the daily time frame green as a bullish green candle with the break. The only thing we're not identifying is a retest. It can still push up further, but we definitely want to see the retest of that resistance turn to support for that market to work its way up. But market does have very dominant to still push up with a lot of momentum. Why? Because that price action body is above that previous side, and this previous side is from what we talked about on the monthly time frame. I think it was a monthly time frame with that doji, weekly time frame with that doji. So the doji on the previous side, the body is above the previous body, and that wick just cleared that wick as well. So that still has enough momentum to push. If it doesn't, market's coming down for the retest. So to break this section down to see what's really going on, we do have price action high, low. So there's another midpoint in this area. So we're going to see what's happening as we walk down the time frame. 4-hour time frame. Okay, now added that SR line just on point because price action is identifying a doji, so it's side by side with the previous second last candle, so it's retesting. Also, we can see that doji that we identified on the weekly time frame to the previous side. Market's trying to break that area but did not yet. But on the daily time frame, it did show that it has enough momentum to clear it. So now it's a 50-50 chance for that market to do what it do. So we do have that W bottom formation at the bottom, first, second, third, fourth, and a second last candle pushed up, price action retest. So either it's going to break and retest, or it's going to come back to the full midpoint or the previous midpoint to retest to still push up further. If market price breaks that midpoint, then that market drop it down further. Working our way to a 3-hour time frame. Still identifying the same thing. So market's in a pattern. So you connect the resistance with the wick, connect that support to the bottom. Market's bounced up and down. We'll see that price acting side by side with the second last candle. So it's consolidating. Now we can see the market broke, came back to retest, trying to create some momentum off that price action to break, but still sitting in that zone on the top side of resistance. Same as well with the 1-hour time frame. Walking down to the 45-minute, now we see it much clearer. 2, 3, 4, fifth to last candle pushed up. The last previous candle spiked down, and price is trying to engulf. May not engulf. Price action candle is above the previous body, but it's not above the previous wick, so it's having some issues. But you can see that market still in that wedge pattern that we created on the earlier time frame. 30-minute time frame, still reading the same thing. Break, retest, still looking for the push. Didn't happen yet, side by side. And same as well, market broke, came back to retest and trying to push, but still landed up to that resistance. Price actions are doji, so it's indecisive. So market has to create that pattern for that engulfment. 5-minute time frame, we see a double bottom. So, but the market is in that wedge, still is a wedge inside wedges. So market's going to identify if it's going to break or not. Price action having a hard time breaking that previous side. There's no wick to that top side, so market could be working its way down. If so, it's coming from some type of pattern, maybe as the first, second, third, fourth retest, the market's coming down from that double top of the retest. If we see that pattern to identify, unless price action go off the previous side, so it's sitting in the range. 3-minute time frame, same as well. So we do see the push because second last candle, third last candle, long wicks down to the bottom, so it was very dominant to push up. After the pattern that we received down here, spiked down to the bottom, lost momentum. But now price action did receive the nice push, but now it's having a hard time breaking the opposite side with this doji to the opposite side to make it up to the next level. 1-minute time frame, same as well. Looking for price to engulf that previous side to push up further, but still has enough momentum. And we can see that W first, second, third, fourth retest 1. So if you think about putting a midpoint here, market looking for a retest to see if it's going to push up for a second time, because this market for that bullish candle may be running out of momentum. Okay guys, this is Cam Jones, FX Daily Analysis. Thank you for watching and thank you for your attention. LMT star.